All right, that other phone ran out of time. But here's the thing. The reason why Steve Fletcher is saying this, because remember when Michael called him on the phone? He is using Michael to help him. He's claiming to be the other witness because the first witness that comes is Elijah. Elijah comes first before Christ comes. And then, so Christ has two witnesses to bear witness that he is Christ. At least two, where there's two or more. Stephen James is playing this out in real life. He is literally, I mean, he's a producer. He's a director. He's organizing all these people to come to his house. He had it set up a long time ago with this house in Huron Drive, adding everything in gematria. The bottomless pit out front of his house. John's coming to help. All of a sudden, John's in the news, the shooting, and everybody they're interviewing. And then this fool here, this other clown, Steve Fletcher, is connecting his name to Harold Camping as two witnesses. All right? Think about what they're doing here. This is the world's script being played out right in front of your face. And I'm telling you step by step how it's happening. And I don't see anything except for what I see up here. That's it. And they know that. So I would not want to be in your shoes, people. At times I think, well, God's just going to turn everybody's hearts back to him. Well, yeah, he's going to do that, but there's a way he's going to do that. And the way that you guys are mocking Harold Camping now and mocking me now, something tragic I sense is just coming your way. Something a little bit more than just God turning your heart back to him. There's a punishment, a severe punishment that's coming your way. And so let me just show you this. This is where Steve Fletcher, this is where I draw the line, okay? This is where I draw the line.
Name means heart apostle. Now I want to share with you the meaning of the name Steve Fletcher. In English gematria, Steve Fletcher is 888. English gematria, Steve Fletcher, 888. Meaning of 8 in the Bible, the number 8 is very significant, such that it is used 73 times in the Bible. It is the symbol of resurrection and regeneration. In Bible numerology, 8 means new beginning. It denotes a new order or creation, and man's true born-again event when he is resurrected from the dead into eternal life.
He still hasn't been resurrected from the dead yet.
So we have Harold Camping, 726, our apostle. Add to that Steve Fletcher, 888, eternity, and it brings us to rapture on May 21st and 22nd, 2019. See, we have Harold Camping, whose number is 726. His name is synonymous with May 21st, 2011. So if you add 8 years to...
Yeah, add 8 years to that, which is my timeline from the beginning. But that's fine. Look, people are supposed to call me evil. They're supposed to try to take my thunder. You can't take my thunder. You can only mimic my thunder. You cannot possibly be me. None of you clowns can be me. There's 450 of yous, and you can't even keep up with me. Now, I'm just driving to work at this moment because that's what I do. I actually work for a living full-time as a carpenter, like the poor suffering servant is supposed to. And so I'm driving to work day in and day out, 5 days a week, and I still produce major evidence that goes against all of these 450 employees of Stephen James Deshawn, King Ahab over there. And you guys are all going down, every last one of yous, and yous will all be serving me. Now, that's the main punishment in the end, is you guys are going to be serving me. Because I go through this day in and day out. I got to stomach these, you know, these people that just walk around like, oh man. Yeah, you know what? It's only going to fire me up. You ain't going to get me mad, but you're going to get me fired up. And that's perfect. Now, unlike Justin, who all he got to do is get on and say a couple words to Steve, barely even look at the camera, just use both of sides of his brain at the same time, and that infuriates Steve, where he's calling him a dickhead again. It's so funny. And the most hilarious thing is this, and I think I'm gonna have to show it, texting back and forth with Justin. Hey, why don't you just make a video? Come on, just make a video. Get Steve riled up. It's one of the best things I enjoy. Do it, say it. Even though we know Steve is watching and listening, or at least he has people doing it. The only question is, are these people, these CIA agents, are you guys giving him the information or not? Like, I don't want to get you guys in trouble, but truth is the truth, and you know, I gotta speak it. We're texting back and forth, saying what he's gonna do, saying what Steve is gonna do, his outcome, how he's gonna react, and then it happens. Okay, so likewise, Steve and Fletcher, both the Jameses, they're telling each other, all right, watch, as soon as you put this video out, Robin's gonna, it's gonna piss him off, he's gonna get up, he's gonna make a video. No, it's not gonna piss me off. But when I see confirmation, okay, here's so great. This is the greatest thing about it. All that this does is makes me bring up something that I wasn't really gonna bring up, but because Fletcher is connecting his name to Harold Camping, acting as if he is the other witness, because Elijah has already come. He already was here. And then Elijah was called up to heaven. Okay? And Elisha was bald-headed and asked for a double portion of Elijah's spirit, which means Elijah was called up to heaven, just like Harold Camping was called up to heaven on December 15th, 2013, and the double portion spirit was poured out upon me, because I am the one that has been proclaiming Harold Camping's name before any of you clowns. So if you want to take credit for it now, well, go ahead. You can try to do whatever. God knows. That's all that matters. God knows. He's showing me. He's giving me the information. He's placing everything in my head that's pointing out everything that's going on specific dates, and the people, and the weapons, and the story, and then the next story. And 6 days from that day, because it was 6 days before that and 6 days before that. It's 666. That's the reference. And this clown is referencing 888 as if he's the second witness. Well, here's the thing. Elisha was bald-headed and got a double portion, and was there when Harold Camping was caught up to heaven. No, not in literal flesh. Nope, just caught up to heaven. And this book here, I said it before, this book here is golden. It's golden, okay? It's just golden. Everything about it, golden. And it has Jesus Christ's birthday, how old he is, 39 and a half. 39 and a half, okay? So you want to draw some similarities? Well, sure, let's go with some similarities. I understood this 10 years ago, the birth of Christ. Now, whether it's October 2nd or April 2nd, April 1st, and he died October 2nd or died April 1st, and they flip it upside down, whatever the case may be, because at that time, Harold Camping still believed in the globe, because I did too. I mean, how are you supposed to know? Either way, Christ was 39 and a half years old when he was crucified, and he was cut off halfway point. Very similar to the time frame that I woke up myself, which was around 2015 going into 2016, because it was the summer of the threshing floor, when the same time that Kate Jenner turned into Caitlyn Jenner, and I knew that there was a problem there. And then I started to open up the book again and study. The beginning of 2016. December, January, somewhere around there, I picked up the book and I started reading. And then for the next 10 months is when I finally sat down and wrote that 6-page letter, because I gathered up 10 more months of information from the past, about 7 years of information that I learned from Harold Camping. Needless to say, I turned 39 years old, and in 2015, right? 16, 17, 18, 19. So right around that time, going towards the end of 2016, I just so happened, and I'm just telling you the numbers, okay? I'm just telling you numbers that are real, not gematria numbers. I know there's things in there that confirms things that I'm saying too, but it's only there because they put it there. They put it there. Steve put the truth there about me, and then he put the lies there about me, just the same way he did about himself. So the numbers are facts. 39 and a half years old I was on December 28th of 2015, the very end of 2015. My birthday is coming up. My 42nd full birthday is coming up, June 28th. I'm just saying, that's 42 months from that time. It's very similar, very, very, very similar, very close, like this. So I have always attached my name to Harold Camping, not by some fake ass numbers on gematria, not by 888 Steve Fletcher that was planned out to have that number, just like all the other ones that are Derek Rose, Jonathan Kleck. They have the same numbers. I believe it's 157, 750, 107, 888, something like that. Same thing. Predetermined, pre-planned, long time ahead of time. Steve Fletcher carries Stephen James' sign. He talks about I had a 12-12-12 sign back on 12-12 at 12 p.m. at 12-12 a.m. p.m. whatever. I was up on my roof and I seen the signs, great wonders with the fake ass sky and the heavens and the stars and the moon and the sun. Yeah, it's all fake. So you have that fraudulency out there. And then all I can tell you is this. These are facts. Elijah was bald. He seen his mentor go up to heaven. I seen my mentor go up to heaven. I am bald. I have been doing this for 7 full years coming up next month as a double portion of Harold Camping's spirit. I've always attached my name to him. I've been called a false prophet from the beginning, since I first started talking about Harold Camping after a couple months of doing videos on YouTube. The reason why, here's how I did it. I came in spiritually from the gate, but I also came in as, I don't know, like a comedian or something, like making fun, mocking these clowns on TV that are lying. So I continue with that. And then as I got people's attention and made them laugh, I kind of threw the Bible in there a little bit to kind of test the waters, to see where everybody is. Because I know everybody's like, but now, being the Christ is pretty freaking cool. Unlike before, where you talk about Jesus Christ, it's like, you don't want to hear it. Now, nah, Christ is a badass dude, okay? He goes in kicking and flipping tables over when he walks into his temple and kicks the shit out of demons and gets them out of the temple, because they're making bets as if they can control the vessel that you are in life, and they're exchanging money, betting that they can get you to get pissed off over here, they can get you to shoot up some freaking heroin over here, smoke some crack over there. They're betting and banking on it and exchanging money at their tables as they're sitting in your temple. So Christ, the Spirit, steps in and just flips them and tells them to get the F out of here. Somewhere, I'm probably paraphrasing a little bit, but so that's how Christ is, the Spirit. And when you have the Spirit, you know you have the Spirit. You don't have to convince anybody. Okay? Your life experience proves it, and your fruit bears it. So the similarities that I can talk about, and now I'm going to drive it home, because I have this false prophet trying to steal my thunder and Harold Campion's thunder. Is it sickening? Yes, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? I am a human, okay? It's still going to be sickening. However, it's not going to dictate my day. I'm still going about my day. When I click off here and I go to work, I just do my thing, and I'll still listen to videos and collect information. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm the true prophet of the Most High. I got my thumb up my ass. And so all you false prophets, these are all false. All of yous. Everybody that I'm mentioning. I'm not talking about Justin, but I'm talking about the other ones. False, liars, thieves, trying to steal thunder. You guys are trying to steal thunder. You can't steal thunder. You can mimic it and show images in the sky of thunder, but you can't steal it. So it's just, and I thought about this a little while back with the comparison of Elijah and Elisha. No, it's not the other way around. It's not turned upside down and Elijah had hair and Elisha didn't, but then the ones on earth is going to be Elijah doesn't have hair and Elisha does. No, it's exactly identical. That way it can be proven in the end who's who in this freaking zoo. So who's who? There's 450 representing, and I'm willing to bet there's 450 of those prophets falsely prophesying on Steve's payroll. Guaranteed that he purposely did that to hire 450 of them. And then to see, is there going to be anybody that comes up in the end before I do my little show and tell me what I'm doing, and then show everybody in the world what the script is, and then prove it with time-stamped videos? Is anybody going to do that in this world? Because if so, well, that person must be the other person that we're looking for. We already found Harold Camping. We buried him, man, literally. But if there's somebody else that comes up, guys, we better tread lightly on this one, because that must mean that God is using this person to show us what we are doing wrong. So what are you guys doing wrong? Well, you're lying. You're still lying. Steve, I would love to go down to Michigan to help you with that house. But I know that it's a pre-planned ordeal, and I know that you're still lying, and you're still portraying to be the Christ on earth, the Messiah. The only Messiah you are is Satan's Messiah. You're going to repent. It's just going to be painful. And the same with Steve Fletcher. It's going to be painful when it happens, because there's a shift that happens that you guys aren't believing. But when you see it in front of you, well, that's why you say that, well, the first Adam, the second Adam, the last Adam, he has to die. No, Steve. No. See, the first Adam, he already died. The second Adam, which is the last Adam, he lives. So even if you portray to be the last Adam, and you something happens in Michigan where a bomb happens, whatever, you're somewhere and you die or whatever, and you raise up, it's all bullshit. You know what I mean? It's all production. You've been producing this. So all I can do is keep saying what's going to happen next, and then keep backing up, and just for people to just pay attention. I'll try to gather as much evidence as I can. You got to remember this: I'm just one person. I go through all this information on my own. I don't have anybody helping me besides Justin, who helps communicate. When you can bounce ideas off somebody, that's all I need. That's all I need. I just need one person to bounce my ideas off of. That way I can get confirmation. And that's how that truly does work. Is Justin's real name Michael? Well, it's his middle name. So, you know, I have a Justin Michael who's helping me. Who's literally helping me. And the proof is I direct it. At one point, I'm trying to direct it specifically to my subs, the ones that don't believe. Then I'm directing it towards the ones that do. Then I direct it towards specifically the elite. Now I understand, okay, the elite already know. They already know. My subs are already getting it. And but it's mainly towards the CIA agents, who are the ones that are responsible for recording me and paying attention to me. So I help you guys out, okay? This is where the help for Steve is going to come to an end at its appointed time. I'm helping you guys out to figure out who I truly am and who Steve truly is. So I do all this gathering of evidence on my own. And again, sometimes Justin helps me, but mainly it's just myself gathering information and putting it all together with timestamps. That way you guys can see all the evidence that I could possibly come up with. So because I'm doing that for you guys, right? When Steve's plan is to come around the 144,000 up, and you guys are responsible for taking us there, just know, right? Just know that on my command, it's time to stop helping Steve, because he's lying. All right? He is not looking out for anybody's best interest except for his own. So when he stumbles and falls and none come to his help, who do you think the help is in the Bible that God is talking about? Who is helping Steve? Yeah, his 450 false prophets are helping him. But as soon as you guys cut off the help that you guys are giving Steve, which is surveillance everywhere, intelligence, collecting data everywhere, as soon as it's time to stop on my command, it's time to stop. I just expect that everybody at that point is going to remember everything that was ever said, that I've ever said, and anybody else that helps with the information on YouTube, that it's all going to click at the same time, and everybody's going to be in agreement. Everybody's going to agree to step off, put the real person in place that's supposed to guide people where they need to go correctly, not an ounce of deception inside of me. So when it's time to exchange the power exchange, just know that from that point on, the rest of your lives, the rest of everybody's lives on planet Earth, besides those who came against me, you guys are going to have well, I'll think of some good punishments for you. They're not going to be, I'm not going to literally torture you to death. I'm not going to lay a finger on you. I'm not going to hurt you in any way when it comes to just mentally. Just mentally is, well, that's what I have Justin for. Justin has really good ideas on how to torment people who are liars right now. And when it's the power exchange, then we're going to put it into effect. And then for as long as it takes, for whenever we feel like it's the time to stop, we'll stop. But in the meantime, the best thing to do now is repent now. Stop now. Stop now before we get into power. Stop now before we get into power. Stop helping Steve with his bullshit lies. Stop helping all the other false prophets. There's only, there's only 450 of them. You know what I mean? And if you look on Steve's payroll and you see 450 of them, and you continue to help him, and I'm telling you what's happening, especially like what's going to happen on Friday, to May 3rd, everything's happening in May. It's May bombs. The bomb is being dropped on people. And Steve is opening up the bottomless pit, okay? And he's portraying to be Jesus Christ in the flesh. And he's already changing his disciples' names from Juan to John, from Ron to Peter, or Paul, or Piper, or Pick the Pepper, one or the other. So keep an eye out for all this. And when it's time, don't come to his help anymore.